What if everything you do, every single day, the day you rest, the holidays you celebrate, the apps you open, the debt you carry, was never yours to begin with? What if someone designed all of it thousands of years ago, and you have been following the program without ever knowing it existed? Part 1 cracked open the symbol, the black cube, the hexagon, the ancient god of time, but we never told you who is still running it today. We never showed you where it is hiding right now, in your phone, in your bank account, in your calendar, in the logos you trust with your money and your data. That changes today. By the end of this video, you will never look at a Saturday, a Christmas, a corporate logo, or a bank statement the same way again. That is not a promise, that is a warning. Let's go. The Saturn calendar. Before we name names, we need to talk about something so close to you, so embedded in your daily life, that you've never once questioned it: time itself. In Part 1, we established Saturn as Kronos, the god of time, the devourer, the measurer. But here's what they never taught you in school. Saturday, Saturn's day, that's not a coincidence. That's a confession hiding in plain language. In virtually every ancient culture, Saturday was sacred to Saturn. The Jews call it Shabbat. The Babylonians called it Shabbatu, a day of Saturn's appeasement. The word Sabbath traces directly to Sabian star worship, where Saturn sat on the highest planetary throne. Now look at the week. 7 days, 7 classical planets in ancient cosmology. Saturn, the outermost planet, the boundary, the limiter, rules the 7th. Your entire week, the structure of your work, your rest, your productivity, is a Saturnian ritual you perform on autopilot. Every 7 days, you complete a cycle Saturn's priests designed thousands of years ago. And Christmas? December 25th sits at the heart of Saturnalia, the ancient Roman festival of Saturn. For 7 days, Romans feasted, gave gifts, lit candles, and temporarily reversed the social order. Masters served slaves. The wealthy gave to the poor. Sound familiar? The modern Christmas was built directly on top of Saturnalia. The date, the gifts, the lights in the darkness, even the jolly bearded elder figure. Saturn was depicted as an old man with a scythe, later softened into someone far more commercially friendly. Your holidays aren't yours, they're Saturn's, and they always were. But here's the part that should make your stomach drop. The people who designed this calendar system didn't disappear when Rome fell. They didn't retire. They didn't die out. They migrated into new robes, new titles, new buildings, and they've been running the same system ever since, just with updated branding. Let me show you exactly who they became. The bloodlines. Every civilization that rose to dominance had a priestly class, initiates who understood the cosmic machinery and used it to maintain power. In Babylon, the Magi. In Egypt, the Hermetic priests. In Rome, the pontiffs. Yes, pontiff. The exact same title still in use today. These weren't spiritual leaders. They were engineers of control. They understood a truth that still holds. Whoever controls the calendar controls the harvest. Whoever controls the harvest controls the people. And whoever controls the symbol of time, Saturn, controls the psychology of entire civilizations. When Rome collapsed, this knowledge migrated into the Catholic Church, which absorbed mystery school cosmology wholesale, into Venetian banking families who relocated north after the fall of Constantinople, into the Rosicrucians, into the Freemasons, and eventually into the sealed chambers of the most powerful institutions on Earth. The Freemasons are the most documented example. Their rituals are explicitly Saturnian. The square and compass, their central symbol when folded, outlines a cube. Their sacred figure, Hiram Abiff, is the divine architect. Saturn is the cosmic architect, the limiter, the builder of form from formlessness. Their black and white checkered lodge floors are the cube unfolded into 2 dimensions, light and shadow, order and chaos. Saturn holds both. Now go higher. Skull and bones at Yale. Their initiation chamber is called the tomb. Candidates lie in coffins. They confess their deepest secrets. They are symbolically devoured and reborn. That is Kronos, dressed in skull and bone. Their members, US presidents, CIA directors, Supreme Court justices, CEOs of the world's largest financial institutions, all passed through the same chamber, all submitted to the same ritual. Saturn's priesthood never disappeared. It just stopped wearing robes. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your phone. Don't open anything yet. Just look at the icons on your screen, the logos, the colors, the shapes, because what I'm about to tell you is going to permanently change how you see every single one of them. These logos weren't designed to be pretty. They were designed to be recognized by the oldest part of your brain, the part that responds to symbols before language even processes them. And every major corporation worth trillions of dollars is using Saturn's language to speak directly to that part of you. Let me decode them, one by one. The corporate logos. BlackRock, nearly $10 trillion in assets, more than the GDP of most nations. Their logo is a solid black geometric form, dense, compressed, immovable. Black is Saturn's color, the color of lead, the metal of Saturn, the compression of infinite wealth into an unyielding form. This is not a design choice. This is a declaration. NVIDIA, the company now powering the AI revolution, the same AI surveillance grid we exposed in Part 1. Their logo contains a stylized eye within a geometric shape. The all-seeing overseer. Saturn is the eternal watcher, now running on silicon. IBM. Look at their logo, blue horizontal bars compressing letters into rigid parallel lines. Bars like a cage, bars like rings. Saturn's rings, rendered in corporate blue. Amazon. Their arrow runs from A to Z. Everything. Contained. Total enclosure of commerce. Saturn doesn't just limit, it encompasses all. Meta, the infinity loop, time cycling endlessly. No exit, no conclusion, just perpetual return. Chronos devouring and rebirthing over and over, inside your feed, every scroll, every refresh. These symbols were chosen by people who understand what symbols do to the subconscious mind. They bypass rational thought entirely. They speak to the ancient brain, the one that still responds to the language Saturn's priests were fluent in. Every time you open these apps, you make an unconscious offering. Your attention, your time, your behavioral data. The tribute has just been updated for the digital age. Now I need you to follow me into territory that most people refuse to go. Not because it's complicated, because it's infuriating. What I'm about to show you isn't theory, it's documented. Public record, hidden in plain sight inside the architecture of the global financial system. And once you see how Saturn's mathematics were literally built into the money, you'll understand why you always feel like you're working harder but falling further behind. Because you are, by design. The financial system, Saturn's deepest temple, isn't a lodge or a cathedral. It's the central bank. In Part 1, we said Saturn devours the young to preserve the old. Now watch how that principle operates mathematically. A 22-year-old takes out a student loan. By 45, they've repaid double the original amount and still owe more. Time, Saturn's domain, is being weaponized directly against the young. The longer the debt runs, the more it consumes. This is Kronos' equation dressed in percentage points. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913 on Jekyll Island in complete secrecy. A group of bankers representing roughly 1/4 of the entire world's wealth met in disguise, traveled under false names on a private train, and designed the monetary system that still governs you today. This is not conspiracy. This is in the congressional record. What did they create? A system where money is loaned into existence and must be repaid with interest that was never created. The total debt in the system mathematically must always exceed the total money supply. Someone is always losing. The cycle always demands more. This is Kronos' mathematics. The system devours because it was designed to devour. And above the Federal Reserve, the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, the central bank of central banks. It answers to no government. It is exempt from taxation and legal oversight by international treaty. It is sovereign, accountable to nothing but itself. Its building, a circular tower rising from a rectangular base, ring above cube, Saturn above its black fortress. They're not even hiding it. They just know you don't speak the language, until now. Everything we've covered so far, the calendar, the bloodlines, the logos, the banks, that's the outer layer. There is something beneath all of it that ties every single piece together. One thread that runs from ancient Babylon straight through to the algorithm deciding what you see on your screen tomorrow morning. And it's something the custodians have worked hardest to suppress. Because this isn't about symbols anymore. This isn't about rituals or secret handshakes. This is about consciousness, about what happens to a human soul that lives its entire life inside Saturn's architecture without ever knowing the walls are there. And more importantly, what happens the moment it does know. Stay with me, because this is where everything changes. Breaking free. The Gnostics, among the most aggressively suppressed spiritual traditions in history, had a name for what we've been describing. The demiurge, a false architect, a secondary creator who builds a prison of matter and convinces the souls inside it that the prison is the whole of reality. In Gnostic cosmology, Saturn was the outermost gate, the final veil between the soul and its true source. To ascend, the soul had to recognize the gate for what it was, not destroy it, not rage against it, see through it. This is not ancient superstition. This is a precise psychological map. Because here's what happens when you live inside Saturn's system unconsciously. You accept the walls as nature. You mistake the calendar for reality. You mistake debt as your personal failure rather than a designed outcome. You look at a logo and feel trust without knowing why. You work every Saturn's day and call it living. The system doesn't need chains. It needs invisibility, and that invisibility just ended for you. So what does real resistance look like? Not rage, not revolution for its own sake. It looks like reclaimed time, choosing consciously how you spend Saturday instead of surrendering it to productivity. Breaking the ritual by seeing it. It looks like financial clarity, understanding that your debt isn't a personal moral failing. It is a mathematical feature of a system that requires someone always loses. It looks like symbol literacy. You now speak the language, the logos, the architecture, the colors, the geometric forms. You read them now, and what is read cannot be used unconsciously. Most powerfully, it looks like community. Saturn's system thrives on isolation. Separated individuals are easier to regulate, measure, and consume. The Golden Age, that paradise every culture remembers, wasn't an age of individual perfection. It was an age of communal abundance, connection without transaction, trust without contracts. The blueprint for everything they took from us was encoded in the very festival they used to replace it. Saturnalia temporarily restored community, masters eating with slaves, social walls dissolving. They had to give you a taste of freedom once a year to keep you moving. That tells you everything about how much they feared what real freedom would actually look like. You came to this video because something pulled at you. Not curiosity, something deeper. The part of you that always felt the edges of the box, even when you couldn't name it. The part that sensed the shape of something behind the shape of things. That wasn't paranoia. That was recognition. You were already waking up before you pressed play. This video just gave you the language. A cube has 6 faces, 6 edges of limitation, but inside every cube is space that no wall touches. There is a place in you that Saturn's system has no coordinates for. A consciousness that does not clock in, cannot be measured in metrics, and refuses to be loaned into existence. That place is where you go from here. Saturn tests, Saturn presses, Saturn limits, but only to find out what survives the pressure. Now you know what's pressing. The question is, what are you going to build with what's left? If this cracked something open in you, share it with someone who's ready. Subscribe, because we are going deeper with every video. And drop in the comments the one thing that hit you hardest today. We'll see you in the shadows.